My name is Steven, and today I'll be taking a look at the second generation of Arlo Essential's indoor, outdoor, and indoor smart security cameras, going over all of the features of each and my personal experiences to see if this versatile generation of cameras has enough utility and ease of use to make it their way into your home. Here I have both of the Arlo second generation 2K resolution security camera kits. Starting off, we have the 4-pack of indoor and outdoor kits. Each of the individual cameras, as you can see here, comes with a packet of screws and a backing you can use to screw it into a wall of any kind. Each packet has one of these little backers that slots right into the back of your camera, but before doing so, you can drill it into the wall using one of the 2 screws, and it even comes with these drywall anchors, so you can use it both indoors and outdoors, whether you'd like. Now, all 4 of the cameras do also have a little stand here. I have 3 of them on already. As you can see, they're kind of angled at the moment, but without it, it just looks like this. It's a simple screw design you can use with any kind of regular screwdriver, and then you get the actual camera itself here, and you can see just on the back, you can just lay it on its side, line up the backing with there, and you can just screw it right in, ready to go. Now, in terms of the actual camera itself, it's fairly lightweight, just enough to fit in your hand, but the camera itself is fairly large and a pretty high quality build. At the top here, you have the actual pairing button. You can use it to pair to your smartphone or a normal device. And then at the very bottom here, you can unlock this little compartment. It's a bit tricky to hold with one hand, but once I've got it open there, you can see it actually does have a little charging port. They do have internal batteries as they are charge operated. So when you are ready to do so, you can just plug it in using the charging cable that's included into each of the packets there. I have the one that's already pre-installed into the indoor security wired camera, but this one here is actually a removable security charger. Unfortunately, it does only come with the 1 charger, so you'll have to charge them all one at a time, but usually it's not an issue as you can just keep your devices up to charge, especially when these devices can last up to 3 to 6 months depending on which power saving options you have enabled. Here I actually have the device plugged in while it's already installed, and luckily for me I did have a wall outlet nearby so I can just have it plugged in while it's still installed. But if you don't, you're able to easily remove the device by pulling it straight upwards from the base, and then once you've done that, you can bring it inside, charge it, put it back outside, and you're ready to go, continuing to protect your home from any intruders. While I was a bit concerned that you didn't need a specialized tool of some kind to remove the device, it was very difficult to remove it without knowing how it's actually in place, as you have to apply a lot of pressure right from the base going straight upwards in order to actually remove the device. And once fully installed, the device is extremely sturdy. Even with just 1 screw, it's very difficult to remove and doesn't shake around whatsoever, and the device is actually weather resistant, being perfect for storms, snow, any kind of weather whatsoever, making sure the device is always powered and charging to protect your home for as long as possible. And while I did go over a bit of how to set up your device, the Arlo app actually has a full step-by-step installation process guide with everything you need to know, from how to drill in the holes to sliding the camera onto the mounting plate, as well as how to connect the camera to your phone using Wi-Fi. And luckily you don't have to insert your password every single time you do a camera, as they'll just automatically connect to the app, update on their own, and it'll be ready to go as long as your phone is still connected to Wi-Fi. As long as you follow the simple steps, the installation will be a breeze, and you don't make a mistake like I did where I tried inserting the mount into the camera itself first, and without it being connected to a wall with screws as leverage, it was extremely difficult to remove. With enough trying and patience, I was able to get it out and properly install it the second time around. Now, when it comes to the best place to install your device, I'd choose somewhere higher up and elevated, either at or above head height, so you can see any details or faces properly, especially having an unobstructed view with nothing blocking what your camera can see. And while I wasn't really worried about someone stealing it with how difficult the device is to remove from the mount, I'd still probably recommend having it somewhere out of reach or a bit more difficult to get to, as you don't want someone taking off your camera and making away with it when you're out of the house. You might also want to consider having a location close to a power outlet, as you might not want to have to uninstall your device every single time you want to charge it, as if you're home, you can just plug it in and quickly route it to a nearby outlet instead of having to unplug it and leave your house vulnerable if you don't have an extra camera to replace it with in the meantime. Now, taking a look at the Essentials second generation indoor Arlo camera at 2K resolution, it is a bit smaller than the regular second generation cameras for the indoor and outdoor uses, but it still has a very high quality camera. And just the same design, it has the actual backings with the screws included. And you can actually mount this either on the bottom as it is pre-installed, or you can mount it into the backing if you'd like as well. And this one does actually have a physical wired charger. There is no battery power usage, so once you plug it out of the wall, it does lose connection immediately, which means you have to have it indoors, as someone can just easily disable it if it's accessible. But overall, it's a nice little small security camera, simple for most needs, and it is a bit of a cheaper option as it is more of a specialized device. Thanks to the Arlo app, it has just the same features that the Arlo Essentials indoor and outdoor camera also has, with the added benefit of an indoor privacy shield that automatically slides down when the device is disabled or powered off, letting you know that it's not recording so you can still have a sense of privacy when you're in your own home. And it's also much more lightweight with the same camera being in place, allowing you to set it up easily without having to drill whatsoever, just by standing it up on a counter or a shelf of any kind, and picturing only details when you want to with the same customization with the Arlo app as the indoor-outdoor cameras. Now, of course, the most important feature of a smart security camera, aside from its utility and features, is the picture quality. Now, while it's a bit difficult to compare to the newer brands of Arlo smart cameras or even other brands out there, at this price point it's hard to complain with 2K resolution and 12 times native zoom. This can also be viewed in a 130-degree angle, so you can picture all the details in the surroundings much better. And here you can see the night vision mode that is able to pick up details at a shorter to medium distance away, although it has trouble getting out the details on farther distances and the shadows there. And meanwhile, here you can see what it looks like in a fully brightened condition, either during the day or with lights, where you can pick up plenty of color and details, although it isn't as sharp as what it would be with some other models of cameras. And again, I have my backup cameras here at the back door of my house, and it better showcases what the night vision is capable of, and even still, the motion activated spotlight is able to turn on, and there you can make out more color details, so you can see all the essential details of anything happening around your house. And as someone who's had someone try to enter through the back door before, it's a great feeling knowing that I can not only turn on a spotlight and talk to them through the cameras from a safe place in my house, but I can also use the built-in feature to activate a siren at will, which I personally feel is enough to deter most potential intruders or unwanted guests. Now, the Arlo app is the thing you'll be using the most when interacting with your smart security cameras, allowing you to set up different modes of automation, different settings for your devices, and customizing everything bit by bit, as well as accessing your camera feeds and everything else. Here you can see I'm activating widgets for certain cameras there, as I can customize them onto a front page there, where I can activate standby, arm away, or arm stay that all have their own different settings. And here, once I go into the actual device's setting itself, I can connect to any of my cameras individually as I want to. Here, there's a couple seconds of delay, and then I can see a live preview of the camera without even having to full screen it at all, just so I can quickly check something. But when I want to, I can open it up entirely, zoom in to see if there's anything happening, like a small animal running by, or if there's any suspicious activity. And then again, it's a little bit blurry as it is only a 2K resolution camera at a longer distance, but still fairly adequate details. And then going into my front door camera here, I'll show you more of the other settings. Here you can see it has a full feed of all the recent recordings, as with the premium account you do have a bunch of recording feeds stored on the cloud up to 30 days, or you can download them as well if you'd like, so you can have them as a physical storage on your device. And then again, with the few second delay that can increase or decrease depending on the strength of your internet speeds. Once connected, I can customize everything from taking screenshots, activating the built-in camera, or as I'm doing there, raising and decreasing the spotlight. It's a bit difficult to see during the day, but you'll actually see that once it does turn off or on, it'll activate the night vision modes there. And then once the night vision mode is activated with the spotlight entirely off, here I have the video full screen so you can see what it's actually like to look through the camera itself. It can be a bit choppy at times, especially with the weather being very bad, but overall I can make out most details fairly adequately, and it's nothing too bad that it's graining to look at for long periods of time. Now moving over to the routine section, this activity allows you to activate automated settings, either from certain times of day. You can also edit device rules there to have certain notifications, whether if you're on away mode you want to have everything recorded, or if you're on standby mode you just want a notification that someone's at your door without actually activating the recording and using up battery space or cloud storage. Here as well you can customize the different actions that are added, whereas for example I'd want to have my back door have a siren as long as I'm away from the house, as no one should be able to be getting into the backyard unless I'm already home still. Now my favorite part is the actual automations and schedule system. You can set up, for example, every day of the week, a few minutes after you leave for work, you can have the camera automatically enter away stay mode, allowing you to instantly change settings without having to go into the app manually every single day. You're also not limited to time settings, as you can also choose arrive and leaving settings. Based on your phone's identity, it'll automatically pick up when you disconnect from Wi-Fi from leaving the house, and then it will instantly arm itself, and you can even customize it up to multiple people. You can have everyone in your family to where if there's still one person at home, it won't activate the full away security mode, but if everyone's out of the house, it will activate it, making me feel less stressed knowing my house is better protected. Now, it is important to mention the Arlo Secure Premium plan, as unfortunately you don't have access to the feed and cloud recordings if you don't have the premium service. But if you do only have one camera, like the individual outdoor or indoor or the individual wired camera, you will be able to just have a cheaper plan, only a monthly or annual plan, in order to access these features and the cloud recordings. But if not, I don't find that everything else was exactly necessary for the experience. But they do offer some very valuable features like package detection, the cloud recording that I mentioned, and among many other features like pet detection, if that's something that would fit better into your lifestyle and security needs. Here we can take a look at some of the event types you can customize your device with, as I always disabled the audio or vehicle cameras for my front-facing camera, as it's positioned in a way where you can see the street next to my road, meaning that every time a car drives by or a horn goes off, it would be activating my camera and wasting battery life, as well as blowing up my phone with notifications. Overall, I have to say both the indoor-outdoor wireless camera and the wired indoor-only camera are both fantastic additions for the Arlo brand. Being the second generation, they have upgraded features compared to their older counterparts, and it makes it a great budget option for anyone either getting into the world of smart cameras or wanting to upgrade their pre-existing security system with ease. The Arlo Secure app has plenty of features and customization to allow you to get all the same features as some higher-end brands while still remaining at a lower budget price point at the cost of some picture quality or some other specific features like removable batteries or anti-theft mounts like with the Arlo Pro 5S. If you want to learn more about the Arlo brand, you can do so by checking out my review on the Best Buy blog, or you can find plenty of Arlo's other devices and these ones over at the Best Buy store.